Welcome back. All right, so by request, the career of Carey Price. So we'll see how quickly he decides to come back. I'm kidding. Carey Price is not officially retired because his contract's still active and being paid out. But Carey Price won't play again. And on the board here, you can see he's number 5 draft pick in 2005. Famously, Pierre Maguire freaked out when Carey Price was drafted by Montreal because they already had Jose Theodore. They already had Guérin. They didn't need a goaltender, according to Pierre Maguire. And I feel like every time I see that draft pick on the board, I got to say it. And since this is the career video on Carey Price, it might be the last time I get to talk about that. So, 07-08, Carey Price makes his debut. Plays 41 games, a record of 24-12-3. 920 save percentage. 7th in the National Hockey League that year. He had 3 shutouts as well, and then in the playoffs he played 11 games, a record of 5-6, 901 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. So the hype around Carey Price was a lot, and he lived up to it. He was on the All-Rookie team. He's 4th in Calder voting, and he's 6th in Vezina voting. So that's how you make a debut in the National Hockey League. 08-09, not as great. 52 games, a record of 23-16-10, 905 save percentage, 1 shutout. And lost all 4 games in the playoffs that year. I believe that's against Boston. 878 save percentage. And we started to hear some discussion about, so is he really going to be the guy? And then 09-10, he plays 41 games for Montreal. A record of 13-20-5, 912 save percentage. No shutouts. He appeared in 4 games, those playoffs, but those are the playoffs where Jaro Halak played absolutely fantastic. So Price appeared in 4 games. He only had a record of 0-1 in those 4 games. He had an 890 save percentage and no shutouts. That summer, the Montreal Canadiens made what was a very unpopular decision at the time. They traded Yaroslav Halak and made Carey Price the starter. And there was plenty of discussion about whether or not this was a smart move because Halak had pulled Montreal, pretty damn far in the playoffs, and what's this Price guy going to do? Well, 2010-2011, the criticism of this move aged really poorly. He plays 72 games in 2010-2011, which is 2nd overall. His 38 wins, 1st in the National Hockey League. 28 losses is 2nd, and 6 overtime or shootout losses. His 923 save percentage was 6th that year, and he had 8 shutouts. In the playoffs, 7 games, a 3-4 record, 934 save percentage, and a shutout. They lost in the first round to Boston that year. Boston on their way to a Stanley Cup. So that year, Carey Price is 5th in Hart voting, he's 5th in Vezina voting and 7th in Hart voting. Let me just go ahead and fix that. Yeah, double checked. It is 5th in Vezina and 7th in Hart. Good. I'm glad he wasn't 5th and 7th in Hart voting. That doesn't make sense. 2011-2012, 65 games played, which is 10th overall. A record of 26-28-11. The 28 regulation losses is 2nd overall. 916 save percentage and 4 shutouts. No playoffs that season for Montreal and Carey Price. 2012-2013, this is a lockout shortened season. And still, Price plays 39 games, which was 10th overall. 21 wins is 7th overall, to go with 13 regulation losses and 4 losses in extra time. 905 save percentage and 3 shutouts. In the playoffs, 4 games, 1-2 record, 894 save percentage. He's still 10th in Vezina that year. A bit of a surprise with the 905 save percentage, but yeah, Carey Price still seen as one of the best goaltenders in the National Hockey League, and it's hard to find fault with that. 2013-2014, 59 games played, 9th in terms of games played that year, 34 wins, that's 6th overall, 20 losses, which is 7th overall in terms of regulation losses, 5 losses in extra time. His 927 save percentage was 4th. 6 shutouts in the playoffs, 12 games, a record of 8-4, 919 save percentage with a shutout, and he's 4th in Vezina voting. And of course, Chris Kreider ends up knocking him out of the playoffs, and Montreal fans are still a little touchy about it. There's some booing when Chris Kreider plays against Montreal, and that's what it traces back to. 2014-2015, 66 games played by Price, that's 5th overall. 44 wins as 1st overall. 16 regulation losses, 6 losses in extra time. His 933 save percentage is 1st. 9 shutouts in the playoffs, 12 games, 6-6 record, 920 save percentage with a shutout. He wins the Vezina. He wins the Ted Lindsay. He wins the Hart. he wins the Jennings, and he's a first-team All-Star. And that's why he's going to be in the Hall of Fame without question. That season was absolutely fantastic, and he does have other good stats beyond that. So it's not just that he had the one really good year, but that fantastic year combined with everything else in his career, to me, he's a no-brainer for the Hall of Fame. It's got to happen. Then 2015, 2016, he got hurt. 12 games, a record of 10-2, 934 save percentage, 2 shutouts. And I can remember that because I worked with a Montreal fan who was kind of gloaty about Price early in the season, and then when he got hurt, yeah, I might have asked him, so what's going on with Price? Just as if I didn't know. 2016, 2017, Carey Price plays 62 games that year, eighth in appearances, so he's healthy the following year. 37 wins, that's 5th overall. 20 losses in regulation, 5 losses in extra time, 923 save percentage, that's 9th in the National Hockey League, and 3 shutouts. In the playoffs, 6 games, a record of 2-4, 933 save percentage, and he's 3rd in Vezina voting. So Carey Price is back. 2017-2018, he plays 49 games. Not a great season for Montreal. He finishes 16, 26, and 4. The 26 regulation losses is 4th overall in the NHL that year. Just the 1 shutout, and obviously no playoffs. 2018-2019, 66 games played. So that is 2nd overall in the NHL. 35 wins is 5th overall. His 24 regulation losses 4th overall. 6 losses in extra time, a 918 save percentage, 4 shutouts. He was 7th in Vezina voting that year. And this is right in where everybody's arguing all the time about how good Carey Price is or how overrated he is. A conversation we've had about every star player in the National Hockey League since the beginning of time. 2019-2020, I still remember all the Gretzky comments. Oh, Gretzky just gets points. And 2019-2020, 58 games played, which is 1st overall. Keep in mind that season was paused on March, I think it was March 15th. Felt like March 15th, the Ides of March. I think it was a little earlier in March. We try not to think about 2020. So he won 27 games that year. That was 5th overall. 25 losses in regulation. That's 2nd overall. And 6 losses in extra time. A 909 save percentage, 4 shutouts. 10 games in the playoffs, a record of 5-5, 936 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. What's interesting with the 2020 playoffs is they had a best 3 out of 5 in that qualifying round rather than best 2 out of 3. The initial plan was best 2 out of 3, but teams complained that a guy like Carey Price could easily steal 2 out of 3 games. You got to make it 3 out of 5. So Price just stole 3 games against Pittsburgh, and they moved on to the next round. So Carey Price showed in 2020 just what he could do in the playoffs. 2020-2021, this is, of course, a shortened season, and you're only playing against teams from the north. He only played 25 games out of the 56, record of 12-7-5, 901 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Not quite looking like Carey Price. Obviously, the injuries slowed him down. And when you're a goaltender and you lose that lateral movement and your flexibility in the net, your time as a National Hockey League goaltender may very well be coming to a close. In the playoffs, though, Carey Price was on fire. 22 games, 13-9 record, 924 save percentage, and a shutout. They get all the way to the Stanley Cup final, even though there were rumors here and there about what Price was dealing with, and of course, Shea Weber as well. So, after the 2021 playoffs, we heard Price may not play again. And then there was the question of whether or not this was a fake out by Montreal, because they didn't protect Carey Price in the expansion in 2021. Seattle could have taken Carey Price. They didn't. Good move not taking him, I might add, because he did try coming back for the 2021-2022 season. He was not himself. 5 games, a record of 1-4, 878 save percentage. He does get the Masterton Trophy for dedication to hockey, and I'm not going to disagree with that. This is a player who did everything in his power to overcome the fact that his body was done, still came back and played. So in his career, he played 712 games. That's 29th overall amongst goaltenders. His 361 wins ranks 23rd. His 261 losses ranks 33rd on the overtime list, or on the overall list, and 79 losses in extra time as well. 917 save percentage. That is officially listed as 33rd. The career save percentage number, though, you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt because things change from era to era, and what's measured as a shot and not changes too, right? His 49 career shutouts, not too shabby. in the playoffs, 92 games, a record of 43-45, a 919 save percentage, and 8 shutouts. So Carey Price was excellent in the playoffs. Injuries slowed him down later in his career. Otherwise, I think he'd still be playing. He's 37, I believe, right now, as I'm recording this, and I think he would still be playing. And I think he'd probably still be the starter for Montreal if he was playing. But it's an excellent career he's had. He played in a number of All-Star games, 2009, 2011, 2012, 2015, 2017, and 2018. He won Olympic gold in 2014. He won World Cup gold in 2016 and World Junior gold in 2007. The one trophy eluding him, the Stanley Cup. So for Carey Price, I do think he gets into the Hall of Fame first ballot. Let me know your thoughts. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? Yes or no? Let me know why or not. Why, yes or no. Why or not. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will talk to you again soon.